Good morning, year 5s and 6s. How are we all today? For this very day, we're going to write and start to edit our narrative. Robots to the rescue. Lesson 1. From 9 o'clock to 20 past 9, I want you to go to last week's assignment and have a read through your plan. Me and Mrs. Smith have put comments on your work to help you. It's all been returned, apart from the one or two of you that didn't turn it in. Remember to turn your work in. One or two of you, sadly, didn't do your plan. You've got a bit of catch up to do, so get that done, please. The rest of you, make any changes to it that we might have put some comments on. You can resubmit it if you want. Once that's done, we'll meet back in the Google Meet, if you're around, at 20 past 9. From that point on, we need one of our usual tick sheets. So below here is a copy of a usual tick sheet for a narrative. If you have a printer handy, you're in luck. All I need you to do is to print a copy off. If you don't have a printer handy, your next task is to get some scrap paper and write out your own tick sheet. I want you to have a copy of a normal tick sheet. So let's open this one up. There's a standard tick sheet for a narrative. You need to make your best version of that if you can't print one out. Okay, so another 20 minutes to sort that out. I'll see you all back on Google Meet if you're around for the lesson. If not, this is you doing it in your own time at 9:40. Press pause and off you go and get your tick sheet ready. Back on at 9:40, I want you to listen to my story that I've written on this video. As you're listening to the story, I want to think about your learning objective for this piece of writing. And that is, in narratives, we're going to describe settings, characters, and atmosphere. Do I achieve this when I read the story out? Do I set the scene and introduce the characters? Could I improve my story and make it any better? Don't forget the big 4 as well. Well, it's going to be a big 3, isn't it? We're going to look at our spellings. We're going to check our grammar's accurate, writing mostly in the past tense and writing in the third person. And we're going to make sure we've got really accurate punctuation. We're definitely going to be practicing writing some direct speech, so we need to be able to punctuate that accurately too. Here we go. Here's my story. Robots to the rescue. Boom! Henry had done it again. The coarse smell of the fire extinguisher told K8 that he'd got the settings all wrong once more. Henry is an inventor. At least he thinks he is. On this day, though, his latest creation had gone wrong again. He flung back the flaps of his makeshift tent to reveal a sea of green. All around him, the sights and sounds of the rainforest jumped at his senses. Tall trees with space rocket roots soared like skyscrapers above him. Scores of insects and other mini-beasts scuttled around on their daily chores. The forest was full of the sounds of unseen beasts, one of which he knew was the orangutans he was there to protect. Henry also knew the poachers would be there too. He almost felt their devilish eyes piercing through the dense undergrowth at him, ready to ensnare the orangutans the minute his back was turned. The inventor returned to his work. In his absence, Kate had set about making minor adjustments to the machine. It was called Magneto-Poach, a huge electromagnet that could be set to attract an exact combination of metals. He was trying to fine-tune it to the blend of metals that the poachers' guns were made of. "Let's give it one more go. I think I've got it right this time," claimed Henry. They fired up the noisy generator, and Henry turned the Magneto-Poach attraction setting to full power. He flicked the on switch. Crash, bang, clunk, jingle, jangle, and finally, wallop! "I'm afraid not today, sir," bleeped Kate. The robot began to pick up all the pots and pans from around the camp that Magneto Poach had attracted, whilst Henry removed the beans from his face that had hit him full on in the calamity. Enough for today, Kate. I'm off to bed. You're on night duty for the poachers. Remember to sound the alarm if you hear anything suspicious. As you wish, sir. Please don't lose heart. You're nearly there. We can make this work, Kate reassured the tired inventor. Little did Henry know, though, that as well as keeping an eye on the rainforest, Kate had several eyes, the industrious robot worked through the night to improve the Magneto Poach. Dawn arrived with a chorus of sound. More worrying were the alarm calls from the buffoonery of orangutans in the clearing next to the camp. Sir, get up! Poachers! Cried Kate. Oh, it's no use. It'll never work, Kate, replied the bleary-eyed inventor. Oh, give it a go, sir. I made some, alterations last night, hinted Kate. Without a second's hesitation, Henry pulled the start cord on the raucous generator, and it growled into action. He glanced across at Kate and nodded to turn the Magneto Poach onto full power. Now, Kate, engage! This time came screams. There was rustling, banging, clattering of metal, but also thudding sounds like bodies being scraped over the ground. Several gunshots were heard, then swoosh, poachers appeared all over the clearing. They all clattered into the Magneto Poach, their guns still attached to the harnesses around their body. The Magneto Poach's force was so strong that the machine had dragged everything to it. The poachers' guns were mangled, unable to be fired. The poachers still struggled to release themselves from their harnesses, stuck to the machine like wasps attracted to a jar of honey. Call the Rangers, Kate! We've done it! The orangutans are saved! Screamed Henry. We certainly have, sir. Kate's control panel lit up as she dialed into Ranger HQ. The animals were unhurt, and the success of the Magneto Poach meant that endangered species all over the planet could be protected from the threat of poachers with their guns. So, there's my story. What did you think of it? I enjoyed writing it, I really did. I used my plan, and I kept referring back to it every time I needed to get the story straight in my head, and you need to do that when you're writing your story. Just going to do a little bit of editing. I thought in this paragraph that my cohesion wasn't particularly good. I think I've repeated some of my words once or twice. Just here, I've referred to the Magneto Poach. And then in the next sentence, I say the Magneto Poach again. So, just need a different word. It's a machine. So I'm going to call it a machine this time round. The machine's force was so strong. Oh, here we go. Look at this. That, now I'm saying the machine again. So I've got to be technical, haven't I? I can just use my really short pronoun for it. Let's read it. They all clattered into the Magneto Poach, their guns still attached to the harnesses around their body. The machine's force was so strong that it had dragged everything towards it. Sounds a little bit better. It's a better preposition, isn't it? And maybe itself, and then I'm not using it again. I'm crafting all the time. The poacher's guns were mangled, unable to be fired. The poacher... Oh, I've got the poachers twice, haven't I? Why don't I just join those two sentences? The poacher's guns were mangled, unable to be fired. How about a semicolon? They. Because that's referring to the poachers, isn't it? Were still struggling to release themselves. Let's try that. The poachers' guns were mangled, unable to be fired. They were still struggling to release themselves from their harnesses, stuck to the machine like wasps attracted to a jar of honey. That works. Call the Rangers, Kate. We've done it. The orangutans are saved, screamed Henry. Okay, so there's a little bit of an example of some editing I've done. And when you finish your story, I might get you to refer back to this section to have a think about some of your editing skills. Let's go back to the assignment now. And it says, from 10 o'clock to 10:15, I want you to go to your tick sheet and put some key vocabulary onto it to help you describe the settings, the characters, and the atmosphere. Just have a little look at mine. Some of my key vocabulary. Think about things like rainforest in mine, skyscrapers. What else have I got there? Tall trees with space rocket roots. I could have put space rockets roots down. Scuttled, unseen. I need to have spellings of technical words like orangutans, poachers. I need to make sure I'm secure on that. So I want you to spend 15 minutes just putting some key vocabulary down on your tick sheets. Off you go and do that. Okay, 10:15 to 10:30, just before break, have a go at writing your first paragraph. It's going to be one of the most important paragraphs because you're going to set the scene and introduce the characters. Remember my normal rule? Do we have any speech, any direct speech in that first paragraph normally? I'd say not. Let's check mine. Look, there's no direct speech in my first paragraph. There's not really any until the end of the second paragraph. So make that a rule again because it will help you focus on setting the scene and describing the characters. Okay, 15 minutes. Away you go, and let's write your introduction before break. Don't forget that the whole time, myself and Mrs. Smith will be online, diving through from pupil to pupil, giving you some help and advice. Okay, that's my last message before break time. Off you go. Okay, we're after break now and into lesson 2. Let's go through this nice and quick. For the whole of this hour, I want you to write your story, then begin to edit it. Don't forget some of our writing rules. Stick to your plan. Write mostly in the past tense and the third person. Have a little look at mine. I go to the present tense just to introduce the inventor and then back to the past tense for most of the story. Some of you need to practice doing that. Don't forget your punctuation, commas for pauses, using question marks and exclamation marks, and accurate punctuation for speech, definitely including the new speaker, new line rule. Some grammar rules. Every sentence must make sense. Only use one coordinating conjunction, and, but, so, or in a sentence, and use plenty of your subordinating conjunctions, however, despite, if, when, whilst. Express yourself and make your story exciting. Some of you need to work on that a little bit. Use lots of adjectives and adverbs to bring your settings, the action and characters to life. Use similes and metaphors if you want to, like I have in my story. If you're using direct speech, only use it every now and again. Too much and it'll just read like a play script. Make sure you've got a good balance of speech, action and description. Maybe just 2 or 3 lines of direct speech at a time. Use your target sheets if you have them. If you're working on high-level punctuation, mainly the year 6s, but some of you year 5s as well, experiment with brackets, semicolons, colons, dashes, and hyphens. Keep ticking your tick sheets. I can't stress that enough. Keep going back to your tick sheet and make sure that you know how great a reminder they are to include things in your work. Read your work. Read it out loud. Practice reading out loud. Read it to a parent. Read it to the dog. Read it to your cat. Read it to your friends. I made lots of mistakes on my first draft. I went back and read it again and again. You know how much I think that's so important to do. You can see me editing and improving my work in the YouTube video. It's still not finished. Most of all, enjoy your writing, children, and make it exciting. Don't turn your work in yet. You'll be finishing it off once we've made some comments on it, so we'll probably finish it off next week completely. But I want you to try and finish it as best as you can today. You can choose a background colour and a sensible font that we can all read, not bigger than 12 points. You need to write a minimum of 5 paragraphs that are over 1 page long in total. I wrote 8. Okay, That's it. Off you go. Enjoy your writing and we'll be around to comment.